Hello, and welcome to your MESE lesson. I'm Claire. Today you're going to learn the what, the how, and the when of answering be present plus noun questions negatively. Let's start with what. What are these answers and statements used for? They are used to talk about present facts. For example, I'm not a judge. Good. Now let's learn how. How do you use these answers and statements? First, know how to conjugate be present using contractions. There are two ways to make the contractions. We will practice both, as they are both commonly used. If you want to talk about yourself, please repeat, no, I am not. Good. Let's practice the more commonly used contraction. Please repeat, no, I'm not. If you want to talk about me, no, you are not. Once more, using a contraction, no, you're not. And again, using the other form of the contraction, no, you aren't. If you want to talk about Ed, no, he is not. Once more, using a contraction, no, he isn't. And again, using the other form of the contraction, no, he's not. If you want to talk about Carol, no, she is not. Once more, using a contraction, no, she's not. And again, using the other form of the contraction, no, she isn't. If you want to talk about us, no, we are not. Once more, using a contraction, no, we're not. And again, using the other form of the contraction, no, we aren't. If you want to talk about them, no, they are not. Once more, using a contraction, no, they are not. And again, using the other form of the contraction, no, they aren't. We will use the first form of the contraction during practice. It's very important to memorize this conjugation fluently before you start practicing Vedeo B. Next, study your vocabulary. For example, I'm not a wife, a tutor, an analyst. Remember, be sure to pronounce the an before nouns that begin with vowel sounds. For example, I'm not a tutor. I'm not an analyst. Finally, to build a more specific answer, you can use an adjective. For example, I'm not a loving boyfriend, a loyal boyfriend, a great boyfriend. So finally, when do you use these answers and statements? You use them to talk more about people's occupations. For example, I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not a lifeguard. I'm not a prosecutor. Or personalities. For example, I'm not a friend. I'm not a hermit. I'm not an artist. Or hobbies. For example, I'm not a sportsman. I'm not a poet. I'm not a painter. Excellent. Now let's review. First, what are negative be present plus noun answers and statements used for? They are used to talking about present facts. Second, How do you use these answers and statements? You use them by knowing the conjugation of be present and building a more specific answer with the vocabulary. Third, when do you use these answers and statements? You use them to talk more about people's occupations, personalities, and hobbies. Well done! Let's move on to Video B to really practice making your own answers. Remember to keep on reviewing your vocabulary. I'm Claire, and I'll see you back here soon.